6 minutes, Max?
Whenever you're ready.
Hello, I'm Miles Yano, CEO and co-founder of speedtrack. Healthcare is undergoing a tectonic shift. Speedtrack provides healthcare professionals the ability to explore and analyze public data to make discoveries which help save them money, find new revenue opportunities, and analyze quality indicators. Our patented information discovery platform makes data mining as easy as pointing and clicking. We've launched a healthcare application, have 9 customers, and have gotten over $500,000 in subscription revenue to date. Now everybody can be a data scientist. Everybody can get the information that they want. Think of us as GPS for information. The problem that we're trying to solve is getting all the information out of your data and making it easy for everyone to use. We got 6 granted patents, 6 patent pending. It's all about getting information out of the data and storing just that information into a dynamic matrix stored in memory such that everybody can be guided to what they're looking for with the help of the system to help you navigate to exactly what's relevant to what you want, with only positive results. So imagine doing every combination of search that you want, always receiving a positive combination. This scales for big data applications linearly. So we had to test this in the cloud, and we put it with 4 years of California healthcare data, de-identified data, identified 64 million records, over 95 different dimensions, and put it out there for people to use and see what they thought. We got 9 ecstatic customers and endorsement of the Hospital Association of San Diego County. Our customers love it. Casey Thatch, the CEO of Tri-City Medical Center, said it best. We have an easy-to-use interface, we're powerful, we're fast, and we're the lowest cost. This represents pretty much the sentiment of all of our customers to date. Our revenue model has been validated by, we have 2 products out there, $15,000 a year and $20,000 a year for 5 users. Everybody has taken the premium service model. They all have subscribed multiple times for multiple years. We're converting about 20 to 25% of all qualified opportunities. With team. To do this, you need a passionate team. You need a smart team. We have both. And they're also innovative, and they're also dedicated to bringing information to the world. Now let's talk about the fun stuff. Market opportunity. By 2020, McKinsey says that healthcare data, the buying and selling of healthcare data, is a $10 billion opportunity. You see all the hospitals and ERs that need it nationwide, plus everybody else in the healthcare chain needs to analyze this data to become competitive and stay in business. This data is there, but the information is not. We plan to get a chunk of that business by putting this data into the cloud and selling a subscription service to do that. And we anticipate getting $30 million in recurring revenue within 3 years. Our current valuations for businesses like this are between 9x and 14x on revenue. So we're seeking $1.5 million for a 12-month runway to help us increase our product mix, accelerate our sales, and do some MVP testing on new products, and line up some strategic partners and licensing to leverage our business. Thomson Reuters sold their healthcare analytics to Veritas Capital for $1.25 million, and all they do is sell healthcare data. They sold it because they couldn't get enough margin. We can provide much more margin from that data. And there's one more thing. This system on our platform works on all data, not healthcare data. We have to start and focus someplace, but we can move on to any other data once this market is there. What the slide says is, while we only have a small piece of the pie, we own the whipped cream. SpeedTrack makes all data better. Thank you very much.
Mike, you finished right on time. Thank you. Questions?
Sorry.
Eric, please. And we're not going to have the mic over here. You're going to keep the mic, so this side will have to shout out your questions loud. Eric?
So you didn't really talk about the competitive landscape. Can you just tell us a little bit about who you're looking to displace and how you're going to solve for what I presume are going to be some obstacles in trying to become the go-to source for data analytics?
The competition is, like I said, the Thomson Reuters Truman system now, Intellimed and the like that have already established bases of healthcare customers. So we have to do a big marketing and sales campaign to hospitals and out of the healthcare value chain. We're going to do that by offering free trials, money-back guarantees. We're in the cloud service. Our platform makes us highly cost-effective. We can put up new systems and new data sets within weeks. So I probably need between 5 and 10 potential customers to put up a data set, put it online, and be profitable. So we want to be kind of like the Bloomberg of healthcare data. So instead of having you bring that data in-house and analyzing it, why not put it in the cloud, sign up on a subscription, and tomorrow you can be doing your analytics.
Other questions? No, Alex.
So, can you describe the sales process right now, your sales experience so far? How large is your sales team? Who's doing this?
Okay.
How are they coming to you? And then finally, with all this actionable data that you're giving to these your healthcare customers, what's the most interesting outcome you've seen so far?
Okay. That's more than one question.
I know.
Sales. We don't have any
He owns the
marketing.
place.
We don't have marketing staff. We don't have really a sales staff. My chief operating officer here is also one of my best sales guys that goes out there. We just do reference referrals for people that we know in the healthcare business that wants to help out the company. It's typically strategic planners, business development people, CEOs, CFOs that want to do it. We basically get their interest by basically saying, do you want to know more about the data, healthcare data? Once we get them to do a demo, that's basically what we have to do that part. Once they see it, what we have, if you see the demo, you get it immediately. The wins that we've had so far with our customers, I'll give you one example. He was doing a comparative analysis on the fly, did a discovery, found 500,000 in miscoding in bills. Another one was doing a complex data analysis task involving trying to find how many people in so many cities by this zip code, by how many hospitals, by length of stay, etc. It would take them normally like a week and a half to do it. She did it in 15 minutes. She says she can't live without it. So it's any kind of multidimensional analysis that you want to do. So we're replacing the standard reporting system. They bring it into the boardroom. They use it dynamically, on the fly, to answer any and all questions regarding the healthcare data.
How long has it taken so far for a win?
It depends. We would have it going from anywhere from 3 months to we had 2 sales. One sale, they just sent the money in. In fact, they had the phone call that came in that said,
I mean, they sent you money and like,
who's this? That's right. They called. We didn't know who they were. They said the San Diego Hospital, the Hospital Association of San Diego told us that your stuff was good. Where do we send the check? Because we had a deadline for a certain product price increase, and they sent us the check. No order, no PO, nothing. They sent us the check before we sent them the order document.
can I come sell for you?
If you come sell for me, we'd be happy. We need the sales and marketing.
Hey, time for one more question. Noah, please.
I guess the biggest question for me is, are you really more of a platform, or are you a data service where you're delivering, you know?
We are underlying platform technology for data. So we own the entire tech stack. We're data agnostic. We can take any type of data, put it in our system.
So why did you choose to focus on healthcare?
Well, quite frankly, that was where we could get traction with the customers to go do that part. Without a sales and marketing staff, without funding, we couldn't go. We tried to do some other things. You know, we did enterprise systems for law enforcement, $250,000 a pop. That doesn't scale. We said we got to get in the cloud. What can we do?
So this is the pivot.
It's the pivot. Healthcare data now is all out there, de-identified, open source, open government, data.gov, that type of thing. So we're just going to pick off as much of that we can, find customers that want to do it, and put it in the cloud.
Okay, so now we're going to switch to feedback, so you can just put the microphone down here, and Alan and Eric.
Be gentle. The timer went blank on me about 3 minutes.
Yeah, no, okay, we're good on time. Paul, you didn't get to ask a question,
I did not.
so if you could turn that question into a declarative statement.
Well, I have opinions. I'll just comment. We'll just go right to comments. You have a lovely, easy style, which is fantastic. You can remove the testimonial crapola from your PowerPoint because it doesn't work. You don't need the underline and all that. Just tell us why you're a grown-up data scientist in a market that's jammed with a tremendous number of rocket scientists who have made big data the next big thing. You didn't really answer Eric's question, and there are grown-ups around every segment. And to just say, we've got the whipped cream, we're good, and money's coming in, it doesn't smack of a complete disclosure of the environment. I'm actually on the board of a company that's looking at this, and they've got some real horsepower behind it. And there's some real issues behind it too, in terms of privacy and what kind of data and so forth and so on. I would have really appreciated having a use case. You told a story about, imagine what I can do with my data, and I'm immediately confused. My data? I don't think it's my data. This is a presentation that looks like it was written to be a sales pitch. You're talking to the hospital. So for us as investors, please tell us why somebody wants this. Not just the ability to mine the data, but presumably there's a cost savings or a benefit or a revenue opportunity or something. Here's why hospitals need this. Here's why they can't find it somewhere else. Here's why my value proposition is unique. I didn't get any of those things. I have a feeling they're in there somewhere. And I'd love to see them come forward.
Noah, please.
Excellent advice. That was really right on. A couple things jumped out at me. I think I think stating what kind of product it is a little bit more clearly. It's a little bit confusing when you talk about the data set and the platform and the patents. So I think being very clear that it's a platform, but it's in what way it's oriented to healthcare, I think from the outset would help the rest of the presentation, make sense. In healthcare, not all customers are created equal. So it's an industry where the leading institutions, the top tier, tend to drive practice development, change how things are done, and then the rest of the industry follows. And in general, it's an industry of followers. There are very few leaders in the industry. You had some good names on that slide. Scripps, for example, that should be one of the lead points that you really, drive with. And I think you actually do have good fundamentals. You've got revenue traction. You've got 6 patents issued, which is extremely unusual. So I think what's unique about this platform, right? We hear all day long about big data platforms, big data and analytic systems. How'd you get 6 patents already issued, right? I think that stands out, and you need to, say a little bit about it, in a succinct way.
Eric, please.
So I think that what didn't come through for me, and what I'm left wondering, is really what's the level of depth at which you have aggregated data to solve all of the enterprise's data needs. It seems to me, based on the demo that I saw earlier and the way you talk about this, that you do have a very user-friendly cross-referencing matrix tool in order to make what might have been a data mining project, from 3 days to 15 minutes. The ability to cross-reference zip code and demographic data and, location in hospitals and try to drill down to, one sort of set of information that is relevant to those surface level sort of data points. But I really wonder whether you are the replacement service for all healthcare data, or whether you are going to be an adjunct to other enterprise systems, because you have a sort of a more surface level of data, but a very user-friendly tool. And you didn't talk to that, but I would encourage you to be upfront about that if that is in fact the case, because then I can understand a little bit better how you fit into the enterprise sales cycle and into the enterprise use case. Otherwise, it all sounds a little too good to be true, and I assume it isn't. And so I would encourage you to think about really where do you fit as a solution, exactly what problem are you solving, and I would talk about that a little more clearly.
Alan, please.
So big data is this huge buzz term that everyone's throwing it around, so I don't trust it at all, right? So I don't think anyone can lay claim that they're the best at, whatever. There's probably 1 or 2 really big players that are, miles ahead of everybody else. So in a situation where you have a big buzzword and it's the next big trend, everybody's throwing it around, it's hard to just say, it's hard to do your diligence and say, hey, this is definitively the best offering on the market. And I don't think it matters. Revenue cures all ills. So you have that. And it seems to me that you have had, meaningful revenue in a very short amount of time, which is why the bulk of my questions are based on the revenues. I did ask about a use case or outcome to kind of get some clarity about what you do. But given that you have this revenue, the only thing I really want to know is how repeatable your revenue traction is, right? Maybe it's, you have a few really great friends and relationships in hospital and healthcare organizations, but how repeatable will this be? And but I think this is really interesting because of that, and I'd like to talk to you more about it afterwards. I'm going to score a high, assuming that it's repeatable. But the crux of my decision will be based on, well, let's see how far you can get with revenue. But I think it's really interesting.
Okay.